guess we can say the Pledge of Allegiance very slowly.
And then call the roll, you can amend the roll as they walk through the door.
Yeah.
I do have a new thing that got passed out today. I received it late yesterday.
Okay. All right. It is 7, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we know we have some commission members who are on their way, but we'll go ahead and have the roll call.
Mr. Good?
Here.
Mr. Seward?
Here.
Ms. Staubach? Mr. Sowers? Mr. Huffman? Ms. Dixon? Mr. Schaefer?
Here.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do we have any items to add or delete from our agenda?
If you want to consider like it's just an informational review, it's not really an action item, for, it's the, West Main property, out behind the water tower, the Tilbert, tract.
Okay.
Did get requested for potential reduction in setbacks, so.
Okay. All right. Let's add that then as 8B. All right. Anything else to add or anything to take off for the agenda? Okay.
I move we accept the agenda with the addition that was just suggested.
Second. Okay. All in agreement, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we do have the minutes also from our September the 10th meeting. There were a couple little dates and grammar things that Brooke's going to take care of. The most interesting one was that we adjourned before we started.
Michael's got a sign, so it'll be up to you.
Yeah, we adjourned before we started.
Just one meeting, you guys do it for first.
You can't go away
Yeah.
Okay, we had a sign-up sheet for anyone who wished to speak. Do you have something at this point, or?
No, Brooke kept me apprised of it, so I just wanted to know what the town was gonna do.
Okay, all right, we'll get there.
I was gonna tell you, Trevor, on the website, if you go to this meeting, which will be, the agenda's already there on the meeting, you can see the full text, and you can also look at the text from last night's meeting, it has that document right on there as well.
Hey, Tracy.
So if you have any questions about either one of those, I mean, we're early in the process right here, but if you have any questions.
Well, I was at a county meeting and they changed some stuff for the county too, so I just happened to be in that meeting getting something rezoned for next week too, so I figured I would just stop in here and
Sure.
pay attention to what the town is doing for the most part.
But yeah, once you look at that, if you have any questions, just let her know.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I got a text just 3 minutes to 7 from Brian Sauer saying they were just leaving Vintage Barrel. And I was grateful for that text because I was sitting eating Japanese for my son's birthday today. Completely forgot about it today, even though I told him yesterday.
Oh, I did that one. I did that one time years ago. Yes.
I had just told him again that, okay, I'll pick up the Japanese from Harrisonburg after my meeting.
Okay.
We're glad you're here.
Yes. Yeah, and you might want to get your microphone too, please. Okay. All right, we've done the minutes. We don't have anybody signed up for citizen comments. So we will go ahead to the public hearings. The first one being on the zoning district regulation amendments in Articles 3, 4, and 5. We have had these for a couple months to take a look at, and we are conducting a public hearing regarding proposed amendments to the zoning district regulations. There they are. Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we're down to the first public hearing on the zoning district amendments. And again, we've had these to look at for a couple meetings. And we know that the principal changes are to clarify acceptable uses in all zoning districts. We hope to eliminate vague and confusing language regarding uses. There's a separate section that will be proposed for bed and breakfast and manufactured homes in chapters 518 and 520. The proposed change would be for a manufactured home to have a 512 roof pitch. And the proposed amendments would propose that manufactured homes become a by right use in R3 and R4, as opposed to now being special use permits. Okay, we have these with the red letters signifying the changes. One in the very beginning, section 304. We have noted before that these regulations would establish the uses and structures that are permitted by right and by special use permit in each zoning district. And any use that's not listed in the regulations as permitted by right or by special use is expressly prohibited. It is a change to make things very clear what is allowed by right or by special use permit. Okay. Are there questions or any further discussion on these proposed amendments? Oh, one thing that I just noticed, I almost forgot. At the very end of these, next to the last page, page 26 of 27. In section A at the top of the page, bed and breakfast homes are allowed only along the listed major street to avoid bringing increased traffic and congestion by non-residents into this residential district in order to ensure that the corridor remains its residential character. Do we still have major streets that are listed like that?
At the time that section was written, it was just Southport Street. And then later, the town added Blue Ridge Avenue. And then after that, we went for the entire district. So I'll make the town very aware of that. We'll make that change.
That needs to be eliminated?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then the other part there, bed and breakfast homes are permitted only in single-family attached dwellings. That's, should still be there.
It should be.
Okay.
I think that, the point of fact being that they were in residential districts only, would prohibit them from being, in any other types of buildings. But I'll double check on that one too.
Okay. Any other questions or notes in this?
Did the council have a comment on the pitched roof?
They did.
They did.
Originally, it was the 612 or steeper, and they have requested it be reduced to 512 or steeper.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. Good catch, though.
I think it's very well done and eliminates some questions.
Okay, this is a public hearing, so I'll officially open the public hearing. We don't have anybody signed up. Any comments? No? Okay. I'm trying.
I'm trying to drag you in.
Yeah.
Don't fall for it.
Okay. All right, and again, we didn't have anybody sign up, and no one here speaking, so I will close the public hearing. See if we're ready for a motion.
I'll move that the proposed district regulations amendments be recommended to the council for approval.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Good?
Aye.
Mr. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Sowers?
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey?
Yes.
Ms. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Okay, we also have a public hearing advertised. We are receiving comments from the public regarding proposed zoning amendments regarding mobile food units, their definition and regulation. And we have quite a bit of information here, part of it dealing with the fees and taxes and those type of things. But then it's noted that that's not really what we decide. We're looking at the zoning requirements. Again, we have a note that says commission's consideration is limited to making a recommendation regarding the zoning requirements. Town council will need to set the fees and taxes and those type of things. Okay. Oh, we have a, let's see. Okay. We have an updated copy that was here at our places this evening.
The town council heard a report from their meeting yesterday evening, and then we have a clean version of Exhibit A, which is the same as the version in your packet that has the blue highlighting. It's just a clean version versus Exhibit A.
Okay, before we open the public hearing, are there questions or discussion on this proposed amendment? I'm gonna say that, I don't know about anybody else, but I think I need some more time to make sure that we understand, or make sure I understand. Usually we have these proposed amendments a month or two ahead of time, and we have discussions, and we ask questions and get the answers that we need. And then, as you know, I'll say, okay, are we ready to take this to public hearing next month? And really, this is the first time we're looking at this.
I agree. I think we should table it.
I agree too, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we do need to go ahead and have the public hearing, correct, since it was advertised? Okay. All right, let me go ahead and do that, and then we may have some questions that we need to look into. Okay, so I'll, again, open the public hearing, and we don't have anybody signed up. Okay, then we'll officially close it. One of the questions that I would have would be, if this is approved from us to the council and they approve it, how does this affect the businesses that we have already? I mean, I could go down the list. You know, how does it affect Flotsy's, Froster's, Blue Shepherd, Buddy Cave's food business, Chewy's, the units that come into the brewery? And that's what I'm wondering.
So, in the blue highlighted area, there are a couple of notes by Mr. Botkins, who is the creator of those blue comments. Based on similar comments that came from the town council originally, he had changed that. So technically, there would be 3 classes of a food establishment or food vendor in Luray after the adoption of this. So currently, we have peddlers or itinerant merchants, such as the ice cream trucks that roll through neighborhoods, the Schwann's ice cream vehicles, the Capital Meats vehicles, those are considered to be peddlers. We have fixed food units, which are your brick and mortar restaurants, as well as they can be mobile or semi-mobile units that are fixed to hardwire, water and sewer plumbing. They are treated just like a restaurant or a brick and mortar. These regulations and this definition would clarify the third type, which are your true mobile units that would travel back to their commissary kitchen at least once a day per the health department regulations. And they are a true mobile facility. They could go to the brewery, they could go to Sperryville, they could go to the caverns, they could go wherever, day after day after day. They would not be required to set up in the same place. So as far as the taxes and fees that are on your summary there, council at this time doesn't have any plans to change any of those. You know, currently, a brick and mortar store or a fixed place food establishment pays a rate based on their gross sales for the year to get their business license, and then they pay monthly meals tax and beverage tax each month afterwards. Currently, itinerant merchants pay a flat $500 fee. It is not prorated through the year, so they would pay that once, and then they would also remit monthly meals and or beverage taxes each month throughout the year. Mobile food units would be handled just like itinerant merchants and stuff. They would pay the flat $500, and then they would remit their monthly meals and beverage tax, you know, just like itinerant merchants and others. So that's the plan as far as taxes and fees. They don't plan on any changes to that, but in here there are exemptions for facilities that occupy any location for a period of less than 1 year. Well, since business licenses are annual, then, you know, your business license application would basically be every single year you would renew that, and whether you're a brick and mortar or you're a fixed location. So Froster's and Flotsy's are fixed location units that serve primarily ice cream, that are jointly inspected by the Department of Health and Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Blue Shepherd has a true mobile unit, but he elects to keep it at that facility. They operate.
I've moved it before.
They have moved it before.
Yes.
But they elect to keep that there, and they are permitted under a separate business license than the distillery. Because they're co-located on the same exact parcel, they could combine that with one business license and have the gross sales from both be combined, but because there are two separate parts of the family that operate those two things, they just keep it that way, and it's their choice. I mean, they can have separate licenses if they like. And then the true mobiles would be like Chewy and some of the others that would, you know, come back and forth. We get a few from out of the county that come into the brewery. You know, we get a few that come into other places. Buddy Cave sets up, you know, every so often down there across from the laundry. He's there for 4 to 6 hours, you know, on Saturday morning, and then he's gone. So those are your true mobile units. And these types of things would apply specifically to those because up until this point, we've never had a definition or any type of requirements that set mobile units apart from anything else.
But you're saying like sometimes their taxes can be, about how much they make? How can you regulate that on one of those trucks?
We can't regulate it even on a fixed unit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of an honored system on a fixed unit, you know, a fixed restaurant. They turn in what the
regulating
taxes that they
Airbnbs or-
collect. I mean, we have the ability to subpoena their tax records and verify all of that. And if we had a strong suspicion that somebody was lowballing the system pretty badly, we could do that legally. We might not see them for a couple of years, you know.
Right.
But, it really is an honor system, and, most people do a really good job. I would say 99% of the people that get business license in Luray, we're fortunate, they do it religiously. We got some that wait till the last second or past the last second, but they do a fairly good job of renewing and then submitting their stuff, to us. So, and it's all verifiable, because if you put that as your gross sales on your business license application, that document becomes a public document that can then be subpoenaed to any other public entity, such as the state comptroller's office or state corporation commission or anybody who wanted to see that. And then they're gonna lay that right beside the tax return for that same previous year, and then we just see if there's any differences there. So, most people are, you know, handle it on the up and up, I would say.
So the flat fee can either be $500 per year, or, it says in there, or $100 per day.
$100 a day, so if you hit.
So if I were coming in with a food truck for just Oktoberfest at the brewery, for example, for
Correct.
2 days,
Yep.
I'd pay $200.
That's correct.
Okay, got it.
But most people that are coming back regularly
Right.
would, it's to their
Sure,
advantage to pay the $500.
absolutely, yeah. If you come 5 days or more,
Yeah,
then,
you're
Sure.
paid for yourself for the whole year.
okay,
Yep.
got it.
But if you get that license on December 30th.
It doesn't make sense, yes.
It's valid for 1 day. and
Correct.
It's paid $500.
So it's just annual,
Just wait till 2 days later, get it on January
Correct.
1st.
And you're
pay
good for the year.
Then you get the
Right.
whole year, yeah, that's what we always try to recommend to folks.
So what actual zoning issue are we dealing with here?
Okay, so primarily, you're looking at the definition, does that make sense? Do the proposed, operational regulations make sense as far as a mobile food unit? These are principally gonna be located solely within the business district,
Yeah.
the B1 district of town. That's the only place that they're gonna be considered to be by right.
Gotcha.
And that's clearly the best fit for them, you know, and so, council has made that fairly clear all along.
Yeah.
So really, what you're looking at is, in a B1 district, do these things make sense?
Gotcha,
Does this
gotcha,
definition-
gotcha. Thank you.
That's basically.
And who enforces? Who enforces that a mobile food unit must leave the host property once daily for service by its commissary unless the mobile food unit is a fully self-contained operation?
The Virginia Department of Health enforces that, because they issue the mobile food permit. We issue a business license and collect food tax, but as far as the permit itself, that comes from Virginia Department of Health. And so they're responsible for the enforcement of all of those elements, outside of the ones that we have provided here, which mirror a lot of that same stuff.
Okay, so again, we would enforce the being 15 feet away from driveway entrances and, handicap parking spaces and fire hydrants, and
Correct.
that's the zoning.
Yep, and so we
Zoning part
would look
of
at
it.
that, you know, as far as our code enforcement, if we, you know, had seen a repeat violation or we had somebody who complained, you know, about that, in terms of location or something, you know, we would go out and investigate that and just tell them, hey, you gotta get further away, you know, when you set up tomorrow.
So other than what's in the blue, this has been been in the code.
Actually, the blue are the latest changes based on the comments from the council, that the town attorney just made. So this whole thing is brand new.
Brand new,
It's all
okay.
brand new.
Okay, so then back to Ronnie's question about what happens to those. And I know you mentioned ice cream trucks, Schwann's, I'm not thinking about those, I'm thinking about some that, you know, maybe have been there and set up and, you know, maybe they have a tent or tables and chairs.
Yep.
What happens to those that are already there,
Okay.
doing that?
Right, so if we've tried real hard, and the town attorney's tried real hard to take into account current operations, you know, within the town that already have an existing business license and how they operate. There will be some minor changes to some of their operations, but we've tried to make sure that from a uniform perspective, when they renew their business license each year, it starts a new, permit cycle. So one of the things that's gonna be required for mobile units is, a temporary use zoning permit, because it has to be for operations that are 1 year or less. So we're gonna issue that zoning permit, and if there are things that the current operation has that are not allowed by these changes, which I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but if there are, you know, we got one last night, which I'm gonna share with you here in a few minutes, but, one item. Then we would certainly work with them to try to get them to bring them into compliance with this over a period of time, not necessarily say, we're not gonna give you the business license until you fix this, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna try to work with them to try to do it. We don't have a huge number, you know, thankfully, we're not New York City, you know, we've got millions of these things, but, we do wanna work with them, you know, to the greatest extent where we can. And like I said, two of the fixed location ones are two of the most popular ones. They're treated just like a restaurant right now, so they would not be classified as a
Under
mobile
this
food
at all.
unit anyway. Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Thank you.
And the tables for up to 8 people, that's the most current.
That's the note I got last night. So, this is one I wanted to share with you, and, I think a general consensus, there were a couple that were, kind of voiceful, and most of them were in consideration of existing operations, you know, for true mobile units. Based on the available area that mobile unit has to set up, so like at the brewery, there's a certain space that they have to set up. Okay, that's all that's in their lease, is your unit has to fit here, and this is what you get. If you were on a 1 acre lot, but they leased you 250 square feet, that's the whole area of your lease based on that. Even though that lot is huge and vacant, you only get leased the 250 square feet at this spot. So out of that 250 square feet, one of the things that came up last night was that the council had recommended that both seating, and number of tables, or square footage of, surface square footage of tables, be based on the amount of area that's being leased to that unit. You know, once you say it was a 250 square foot space, you subtract out the mobile unit and its awning, where you can't set, you know, picnic tables with umbrellas up underneath the awning. Once you subtract that out, how much square footage is left? And those would be on their site sketch when they turn it in for their temporary use zoning permit each year. We would look at that and say, okay, well, based on the site you have available, you're allowed 12 seats at 10 square foot per seat, and you can have 25 square foot of table surface for condiments and accessories and things like that. And so that's our job, is to figure out mathematically, and I can tell you, we're gonna go to places like Harrisonburg, Winchester, we're gonna steal their mathematical table, because we're not gonna try to refigure it. We're gonna use something somebody else has already been using for 10 or 15 years. So, what it was to not try to jam 48 picnic tables into a 250 square foot plot, along with a mobile unit and 6 plastic folding tables, and leave this much much space for people to walk up to the window and back out again. It was to try to make sure that the accessories were commensurate with the mobile unit. And so that's something we've gotta work on. I've gotta.
Yeah, it doesn't really say that, it's not
It
worded.
doesn't say it now.
Oh,
I'm talking about
okay.
something
I'm
we
like,
got
I'm
just
not-
last night, yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
I've gotta work on that, with the town attorney and with Brooke, and we're gonna do some research, but that was what they had recommended, is that we, instead of trying to pick a number, cause somebody like Buddy Cave has an entire parking lot there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
but no
So-
chair, but you got,
Okay.
then you got Chewy spot.
Yeah, so now there's a limitation on that. I don't know how limited it is, but there is. He doesn't have free run of the entire fire department area there. He just has, a space. So finding out what that space is and then how to fit his operation into this, we just need to try to make it commensurate with the thing so that people don't go overboard. But yet, at the same token, we wanna make sure they have, if they have room for seating with picnic tables and umbrellas that are easily portable, and they have room for a couple of folding tables that they wanna put accessories on or condiments or whatever like that, by all means, let them use that. It's just a business enhancement at that point.
Yeah, but it specifically says no umbrellas, tents, or.
That's going to be changed. I will tell you that because of that little yellow note right there.
Okay, other questions, discussion? Since this has been advertised, have you heard from business owners?
Brooke has reached out to several folks today, but one of the things I think we're gonna do is, once we get the next version from the town attorney, the plan was to send that electronically to anybody who's responded. We have some of the vendors that haven't responded at all, for a couple months, so it's not like we're not trying to reach them, it's just that they're not re-engaging back, so.
Have you gone there?
We could.
Instead of-
Yeah, but stand in line, buy an ice cream cone, here's your, packet. That you've been ignoring us for 3.5 months.
Get some ice cream out of it too.
I guess we could do that.
Turns it to town. Me too, hey.
Season's over.
Yeah, so for folks like Travis, show up, or like, Conrad Colby, who calls in, and he and I email back and forth, he's pretty regular on that with either a call or an email. We do try to engage, with, folks that are out there right now trying to do this exact same business or something very similar. So, it's important we get their feedback, on the final product. So like I said, I think what we'll do is, once we get the next version, not this blue highlighted version, but the next one from the town attorney and based on our research, I wanna get that back out there. Certainly it'll come to all you guys. It's gonna go to the council. It'll go to the folks that have, been engaging all along. And we'll try one more time, with the others and just kinda see what happens. But yeah, I think that, having the public hearing, and this was a discussion that came up, about when we have our public hearings. A lot of folks have their public hearings at the beginning of the process like this, to gather all the information that they can, before you start through building a document or a set of requirements or something like that. When you hold the public hearing at the very end, which is what we've historically done here, some people have commented that, well, it doesn't really matter what we say at the public hearing, you've already gotten to this point, you're just gonna vote yes when we're done anyway.
Yes.
And, so there's two sides to that, and I see both of them, but historically in Luray, we've always held our public hearings toward the end of the process when the document is closer to its final version, so that folks have an opportunity to see what that final version, would look like. And of course, they can comment at any time, they don't just have to do it at a public hearing, they can email me, they can call Brooke, they can.
I agree
talk
with
to
that.
council.
I like to have a finished document to say, this is what we're having a public hearing on.
Yeah.
Not like, here's what we're having a public hearing on, we don't even know what we're gonna get to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and it's not that we can't make changes, that would be one of the suggested motions
Totally.
based on
Might
public.
change our
Exactly.
opinion.
Exactly.
Come change our opinion.
Alright.
So, I like the way that Luray has always done it, the other concept has come up before, and it came up again, but I think that.
Can
it's
request that it's not done like this and done the old way from now on?
No, I'm just saying, you know, this was set up.
Or everything?
How did it get like this?
This advertising was set up, by the other folks that occupy those chairs. And those ads were posted based on that time frame. So rather than lose the money and have to re-advertise, we can hold a public hearing, just like you guys are gonna do tonight. You're gonna hold a public hearing, but you're not gonna take action tonight, and you're not required to take action tonight. You can take action next meeting, 5 meetings from now. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do the action the night you hold a public hearing. It's not required.
I just had a question.
Mhm.
Like for, you know, been with youth football for mega years. When we have trucks come up,
Mhm.
should we, when all this goes down, whatever, people be asking, hey, do you have your permits and all that stuff?
Mhm. That's one of the things that Jen is gonna be recommending is, you know, one of the things that's required to be posted by state law is a valid health department permit for that mobile food unit. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the Page County Health Department. Mobile food units can travel statewide in Virginia. And in some cases, they can travel into other states that have a reciprocity agreement with the Department of Health. The other thing that needs to be posted there is a copy of their valid business license. And in Luray, it's going to be, along with that business license, there's gonna be a temporary use zoning permit that backs that up. And so it's not that we wanna make people post 50 million things, it's just that if they do operate in our town, they're fine. If they go somewhere else and operate, they're also fine, no problem. But yeah, as a member of the business community, I would recommend that you guys maybe just make sure that they've got their stuff posted, you know, that they have a permit and that
You mean
they're
as of now or as of then?
Yeah, I mean, as of moving forward after this thing gets adopted sometime late this year or early next year. So I would say, just as a good business practice, just make sure you guys are, you know, the football league is using somebody who's licensed and reputable and they're not somebody, you know, not like a fly-by-night organization, you know, who's kind of doing a little side hustle. But that's just, you know, my recommendation. You guys do what you want to do.
Yeah, okay.
You're the football league.
Your mom's were
Okay, other discussion tonight?
And if you guys have any other questions about this, because it is so new, and we are working on the draft, please email us, ask us the question, tell us what your concern is, tell us what your proposed solution is, whatever.
Yeah.
Put it in, get it into us, because, you know, if we wait till the meetings to do it, then it's just one more month, and then one more month, and then one more month. And so we'd like to try to be a little more,
Do we need to officially table this, or?
no,
No, we
what
don't.
I listed on the cover sheet, Bill, was the,
Thank
potential action.
Thank you.
So it says public hearing and potential action. So if you guys are not gonna take any motion, once he's open and closed the public hearing, you can consider the item done.
Thank you.
I thought he did that already.
Yeah.
He did.
He did.
I was just clarifying. Thank you.
Good question.
Oh, is council gonna go ahead and have their public hearing on November 10?
They are gonna have their public hearing on the 10th. And then I'm hopeful, although we're running out of days, I'm hopeful to have, the next version of that well in advance of that, so I could distribute that to you guys and to them, you know, in advance of their public hearing. They're not gonna be able to act until they get a recommendation from you folks.
That's what my next question
So
was.
their December meeting will probably be the point where they're looking at taking it as an action item.
Is that too late for, it's not too late.
Well, it's,
No,
the winter time is kind of a slow period for
period,
a
yeah.
lot
Yeah,
of
it's
our
not
gonna-
trucks,
yeah.
because we just don't get a lot of usage and a lot of
True.
reporting during that
Because
period.
it
So
started too late.
of all the times of the year to do this very thing, this is a good time to do it, because in the cold weather months, we just don't get a lot of reported sales.
Or
We
you
get
just
some.
said we could bump it off for the next 5 meetings too.
Good.
I might, after the second meeting, some other folks that sat in the chairs may ask me to ask you a
Where y'all do it?
What are you doing down there? Yeah, but, you guys are 2 days behind, so, and it's set up that way for a reason, so that your actions are always after, the council's, so that nobody can short circuit the system. You gotta jump to the next one, so, but yeah, anything you got, send it to us, because it'll just make the process smoother and easier.
Okay.
It's a great idea.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're next looking at the comprehensive plan. Looks like at least two things to consider. One is the title we'd like to see for the plan, and then the vision statement. We have an extensive list. Again, we have a list that was in our packets when they were distributed. What thoughts do we have on the title for our plan?
Bill was the only one who really gave
Which one was yours?
Number what?
Number one was yours, yeah.
I mean, one in the recommendations, or,
Yeah, number one
Oh.
was suggested.
yeah,
Yeah, out of those three, I like that one the best.
yeah. Yeah, I do too. Connecting our past and defining our future.
There we go. And so we did have, another one from, the staff member. He had recommended something similar to number two. Some of the others we utilized, Brooke utilized, ChatGPT and punched in all of our previous information, our current information. It spit out basically the last four: momentum, Luray, the way forward, Luray tomorrow, Luray connect and grow. So those all came from that, resource. So also with the packet was the spiral down page 2 that's the vision statement from the 2013 plan, and then the last page is your vision statement of the current plan. But as far as the title goes, like the chairman was saying, so, the ads for your November public hearing need to include a public hearing for the comp plan. And your public hearing will be on November the 12th, Wednesday, so you'll be back to your normal Wednesday time period. We do have a holiday between the council meeting and the planning commission meeting that week. The council's public hearing for the comp plan updates will be at their December 8th regular meeting.
I will not be available in November.
Okay.
I'll be available in November either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are rapidly approaching the point of no return on some of these topics, so the title and the vision statement are kind of important to get those in for Brooke. We've officially gone to court and changed her name. Her new middle name is Comp Plan Update.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
When you
so,
sign that on a
Nice
check.
ring.
I'll send that to you, like, ahead of time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll get it out early. What do you think? We just need to put something on there. We got kind of cheesy last time because we used the motto of the town and made a brief kind of thing. The way forward, number 4 was a little bit of a play on that same theme, but, I think that, and they pulled that out because we put in our current, title, so.
In the one that we discussed first, number 1, Luray 2045, connecting our past, defining our future. Just a thought. wonder if that should be planning our future? I don't know, we can define the future. But, you know, either way,
That was one from before, is that what you're saying? Or is that one we,
He's just making a change on the,
oh,
just,
chat.
Verbiage.
just talking.
I kinda like 1 or 4.
On the on this list,
Yeah,
okay. I guess what we could do is solicit a secret ballot, and you guys could put down, you know, a topic or a comment that you liked, and we collect them all, and whoever had the most, then that would be the one we use, so.
We could.
You know, you don't have to do it out loud in a public meeting, we can do it in a different mechanism if you like, more comfortable that way. Yeah.
I mean, will the word Luray be at any other place on that, you know, the first page? Or-
Yeah, it'll be the comprehensive plan 2025 town of Luray, and then there'll be the title. So, those 3 phrases will be there somewhere on that cover page along with probably a picture.
I kinda don't like to see the word Luray twice in it, if it's gonna be titled Luray on the. I like the way forward. I also like number 1.
Is it supposed to read 2045? Like Luray Comprehensive Plan 2045, is it supposed to say 2045?
Which one?
Front and
Top
back it
three.
says.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I spit that out, yeah.
We're looking way
I'm
into
just,
That's
We've,
just-
we've done our duty.
thinking
boy,
past
that made
defining
it a
our
whole lot
distant
easier for the
future.
next.
Yeah.
That's the best way of using, you know, AI.
Future
is that-
planning commission will thank us.
There you go.
It's done.
Exactly.
40 years.
Yeah.
So I think,
Space Odyssey.
sometimes it gives you information that you don't really ask for. That was one thing.
That's what I don't like.
Do we have a motion on the title? That's-
I'll motion for the way forward to get us going.
Well, and if it's, you guys go ahead and complete the motion.
So does somebody say they like having Luray in the title, like
Well, it's gonna be, the
Could it
top
be
of the
the way
page is gonna
forward?
say,
Say Luray.
the way forward for Luray, or just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way forward?
The way forward.
Luray,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way forward,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Because the
But-
town array will be on the front cover.
So it's not gonna say Luray Comprehensive Plan 2025, the way forward, or something, or,
Normally, we have comprehensive plan 2025, town of Luray, Virginia, and then there's a title.
The way
along with
forward.
picture.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think,
Typically, but we don't have to do it that way. We can do it whatever way you guys would like. That's typically what the front cover looks like on the plans.
so then why are some of these suggestions, Luray Comprehensive Plan 2025, you know, I'm a keep it simple type of person.
Yeah, yeah,
But, so that would say 2025 Comprehensive Plan, Town of Luray, and then Luray Comprehensive Plan 2025, it would say that twice.
Right, right.
Yeah, we can take the town of Luray off of there if you like. And again, don't put too much credence in that AI generated stuff, because it gives you a lot of stuff you don't ask for. Yeah, we just punched it in there and see what it's saying. It tells you a lot of stuff you don't wanna know, I can tell you
Did we
that.
name our last one? Did we have a title for our last one? I can't even
Yeah.
remember now off the top.
It's on here, it's right there.
Forward
on the screen.
thinking, is that what it
It's
was?
right there.
well, it seems like you'd want a title to the document.
Oh, for
And it's the-
2020? It was-
Yeah, yeah.
It's the Town of Luray 2025 Comprehensive Plan, then you need to name it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so currently, it's named that, forward thinking. So our current plan in 2019, that's the
Forward
title.
thinking.
Okay.
I'll second this motion just to see what happens.
All right.
Thanks,
Got a
John.
motion and a second.
That's what I want, yes.
Okay. So that's the way forward.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the way we could do it.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and second. Guess we'll do a roll call.
Mr. Good?
Aye, yes.
Mr. Seward?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
It sure is.
Okay. Way forward, okay. Yes.
That's kind of it's a bold statement.
Does Dixon need to
What?
vote?
She called you.
I
No, she
didn't
didn't.
answer?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's a
I thought
girl.
you said-
We heard you talking, we heard you.
She's still thinking.
I did not,
I didn't hear.
I didn't hear
I didn't hear it either.
but she was thinking yes.
Oh, if y'all can hear what you're going,
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
boy, that's
my.
scary.
Well, thank you all for that.
Okay.
That's one big piece out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's of all the ones on that list,
I thought you
that's
wanted
the
number
boldest
one.
statement there.
I don't care.
If you think about it. Because you're saying, what's inside this book right here is the way
Way
forward.
forward.
The way
There is
forward.
no other way forward other than what's in this book. It's kind of a bold statement, but I like it. I like it. Yes.
No.
Okay.
Like,
Short,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like
short
it.
and sweet. Okay.
The Bible.
She voted.
So-
This is the way.
For the vision statement, which was the second piece of that, we gave you the last two. So the last page is the last one, the one that has the spiral bounding down the edges, the one from the 2013 plan. So one of the things that we were gonna recommend, and we'll see what you guys think about it, we were going to, meld what we thought to be the best elements and the best subject matter of both of those vision statements, and then add in some new concepts, and then put that out to you guys as an individual email outside of the meeting, where you guys can look on it, read it at your leisure, comment on it. Ronnie can do his teacher thing on it and have
Sure.
it all grammatically
Red
correct.
pen.
I like that.
And appropriate, with great punctuation, and then get that back. And then what we'll do is we'll put that in the document that goes to public hearing. We can change it at any given time. So as long as the public hearings are held in 2025, even if the council voted on it at their January regular meeting, it would still be comp plan update or comprehensive plan 2025 for Lorraine. So, we have a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot.
Awesome. I'm good with that.
Just one little thing, and even though it's my last name, we've got the word good in here, a good community. And I think we might have had this in another meeting, and I know I said that somewhere along the line, I had an English teacher who didn't want you to use good and nice, and, it needs to be more descriptive than good. So,
Were you offended by that? When she said you could?
no. I was like, yes, ma'am.
We could take another word
Isabel,
from
good.
suggestion one and put a thriving community, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, even,
There you go.
Good
Well, that
don't
was part
sound-
of the stuff we were gonna use, is some of the stuff on the AI sheet, and some of those other titles that we didn't use, we're gonna try to figure out a way to work them into the new vision statement, so that everybody's a winner, in terms of the title.
Oh, we're all winners here.
I didn't wanna take that, I didn't wanna take that from, because then so, but yeah, we're gonna try to find a way to work them in. somehow.
Okay, Brooke, other things we need to do on the comp plan tonight? Okay,
Thank you. You've done a great job and putting it
Yes.
together.
well,
If you have a cloning machine in your basement or something, she'd like to be cloned for a few months, so have some extra sets of things that you do all the time, like to get rid of.
I'd like a Brooke at my, employment office, yeah.
okay, we'll look forward to November the 12th. Okay, and you have something on West
Yes.
Main.
So, this just came in yesterday afternoon. This is a very
Thank you.
preliminary site plan for, the West Main, parcel. I asked for not this.
Christ.
What I asked for was like a larger version of the, setback exceptions they were asking for, but they did not provide that. And then tomorrow, they're supposed to drop off 2 foot by 3 foot versions of this thing that are even block. And then down toward, the bottom, which would be closer to West Main Street, so West Main Street's gonna be down at the bottom of the page. Lurie Caverns is off your upper left-hand corner, and then Dixon's Ferry Road is over on your right side edge. So, down at the lower portion towards closest to West Main Street are single-family dwellings, okay? So you can see it's a mix of townhomes and single-family dwellings. Obviously, what they're trying to do is maximize the number of units that they can build, in this amount of land. So, in doing the initial layout, the engineers at AES came up with this layout, however, it has a few issues. It only works if they are allowed to reduce the side setback. So when a block of townhome units touches a side street, they would like to reduce that side setback from 30 feet down to 20 feet. So there's a little table down in the lower right-hand corner that tells you what they would like to do with the variance. They would also like to reduce the 20-foot separation between blocks of townhomes down to 10 feet. And then the final variance that they would like to see is for 10 houses, and they're primarily right here. They're mostly right here in this area of the drawing. There's some little green hatching right behind the houses. Can you see that? Should've gave everybody magnifying glasses or readers. For 10 homes, they would like to reduce the rear yard setback from 25 feet to 15 feet. So, I agreed to provide this to you folks as an informational item. I did not, indicate any favor or disfavor, although I did indicate to the folks, don't get your hopes up too much, because these types of reductions in setbacks significantly change the character of the development.
Yeah, I don't
And
like
so,
it.
Sets a precedent.
Well, it does.
It does.
And, this type of variance, especially with the townhome development, so the townhome development that we had out at Lurie Landing, that was part of a planned neighborhood development, and they were able to use smaller setbacks because that was part of their master land use plan. They submitted that through everybody 100 times, everybody got to look at it and talk about it, and we agreed to those. This is not a planned neighborhood development. This is an R5, straight up townhome and apartment or single-family dwelling or two-family dwelling zoning district right now. So I have given them the P and D option, but
So are there 70, is it 70 units here, or is it more than that?
I think their total number of unit count is over 200.
More than that, yeah.
Oh, 240, yeah, 41, jeez, Lord.
193 townhomes, 48 single-family homes, 241 total. That's with the reductions. Okay?
No apartments at all?
Townhomes and no apartments, townhomes and single-family. So, I gave them the P and D option, because that allows you to get, higher densities, but they do not wanna rezone this. Because when they rezone it, you guys and the town council have the opportunity to ask for things. Right? As part of the P and D master
Totally.
plan, review and layout and approval. They can ask, you guys can ask for a developer's agreement, you can ask for all kinds of things. So they don't wanna rezone this thing. They wanna leave it as is, but they wanna get variances to the setbacks. So I said, well, kind of what you're asking for is here to have your cake and eat
Me
it
too, yeah.
And, I said, I'm not sure how that's gonna fly. And so then one of the developer folks said, well, we could just do all townhomes. I was like, yeah, you're right, you could. You wouldn't have to add any single-family homes in here. And if you can sell 250 townhomes, or whatever that total number's gonna be, when we've got rollover sales that are occurring in Lurie Landing about every 4 to 6 months out there on some of those units, be my guest.
Do we have the infrastructure to handle all this?
The infrastructure is gonna need some on-site and off-site improvements. Some of that is, improvement to the water service, you know, up near, the West Main
Yeah,
Tower,
yeah.
which is in your lower left corner. There's a big block there. Right, it says potential community garden, but they're pointing to the garden, the green space. The sewer line that traverses this property is gonna have to be upgraded in size, and I believe it's gonna have to be upgraded in size all the way down to, it's either Bank or Hawksville Street, to get to a larger trunk line. So, there's gonna be a significant amount of on-site and off-site improvement that would have to be done here, just the way it is. So, it's a
Now,
lot of houses.
is
I'd
that
like
one
to-
corner over here is what we was talking about? I told you that,
The upper left.
I forgot,
upper-
that you don't have, yeah. The one that we was
upper left,
talking
yeah,
about,
right
that
there.
they would have to,
Gotcha.
that they would have to get to make that work.
Correct. So they're, in order to use that for traffic output, they would have to get, they would have to run at least a 50-foot wide right-of-way out through there, as well as, 30-foot of hard surface pavement.
Where does
So-
that come out on Main Street?
It doesn't,
No,
this,
that was
this
Bixley
touches
Ferry
this.
Road.
Oh, good
Right
lord.
up near the turn, right up near the turn.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
the blind turn.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
call it the
yeah,
blind
yeah,
turn.
blind turn.
I'd like to know without any setback reductions, how many
Pretty much
homes
knew
they could put
how
in
they had
there.
to bring all the
Yeah,
roads out.
so
Is
that,
that on the chart?
let's see.
Wow.
Single family homes or townhomes, probably, it'd be 20 feet. They do not include that number on here, but I can certainly ask for that information. I believe that the total number gets closer to 200 or less
I-
than with it. So, you know, really, when it comes down to it, granting variance is zone administrator's, task, but it's something that this sizable for brand new construction, I'm certainly gonna get your opinions on this. I may even get the opinions of the council, because, this is a significant ask, and it is a significant, change to how we normally do R5 zoning layouts.
And stormwater,
Right now,
stormwater detention.
Stormwater detention is in the lower, this lower triangle right here, Ronnie.
Oh.
Right down here, because this is where the outfall goes, is right down there underneath Bixley Ferry Road. So that big triangle down there is where the stormwater,
And so this road is the proposed coming out there at Jordan, is that where that's gonna be at?
which,
Oh, right here, that's
Yeah.
gonna be Jordan Street?
well, that is that's uphill from Georgia. That's just to the lot right below Allison's hair cutter.
Okay.
Oh, so they,
Oh,
who they worked that out with?
yeah.
Apparently her.
Talking about so she gonna give up her parking lot that comes right through there between, the paintings and, right there?
Apparently, she's gonna give up part of her lot, and then, she owns the lot right beside of it.
Right.
So she's gonna sell them that lot and then part of her lot. So I was like, that's a lot of parking to be able to give up to get that.
A lot of money too.
Yeah. So,
She may be retiring too.
and then this square right down here is a playground right now.
Right.
Right.
That was built by the rec. So this square right here, John. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right behind the rec center.
I got it.
Okay, so,
So basically they gonna try to incorporate part of the rec into that too, sorta like, is that what they?
I think that when they figured out how many homes that they were limited to, I'm not sure about that. They've got some potential playground, areas shown. They've got, potential fitness and children's play areas shown. They do have a hatched triangle over here, on the left side, right beside the existing water tower that
Yeah,
they're willing
okay.
to donate for water system improvements. Okay, cause we're gonna
You're
take
gonna need
this
it.
thing on. I've gotta build a much bigger
Yeah.
water facility there. Of course, their facility fees would pay for a good bit of that, that they would pay for these number of homes. But the question before you tonight is essentially, how do you feel about those three requests for variances, in an R5 zone between townhomes and then between townhomes and side streets and then rear yards of single families?
I think it would set a precedence that we don't want to have to deal with.
He's too. I
Tight.
need to think about it.
I'm not for it.
I'm not for it as a percentage, but I gotta think about it.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll get the number of houses. John did ask a good question.
Yeah.
What would the number of units be if there wasn't a variance? Any of these variances were granted. So I'll ask for that information.
What's the price of these units? We don't even have a clue.
In fact, this is the third version of this plan that I've
Will
seen.
any of them be affordable for people in Luray to?
You know, most of the folks that are building these types of things are from Northern
Yeah,
Virginia, Maryland.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
just like with, Blu-ray Landing and, you know, they had, D.R. Horton out there doing the townhomes. They're having Miranda Homes build the duplexes. You know, and when Northern Virginia builders usually show up, they bring Northern Virginia prices with them.
Sure.
Because that's what their models are based on. And, we'll see. You know, I don't know. I don't put a lot of faith in something until I get an actual submittal with an application and a check that says we're serious about doing this. So this is the third iteration of the plan that I've seen since they started talking to us. A feel, and I think I have that feel for about the requested variances.
And we've answered the question of no short-term rentals.
That, issue, it would be in R5, so they would be prohibited.
Okay. Okay.
I just think Luray has a lot of potential. I mean, lots of people are moving out of DC, the prices are sky high, and I don't really think we have to give up a lot
Yep.
in order to get some people interested in coming into our community.
Sure.
And I just think that's, setback is a little unusual and would set a precedent.
Agreed.
Well, and that was my first reaction, and then, you know, they had indicated some of the green areas and some of the, you know, the area for the water supply expansion, things like that. But at the end of the day, I think that, you know, we'll see, they have to make their unit costs work in order for them to be able to do the development at all. And their engineers are, have been okay so far. I think that when push comes to shove, we may see some resistance to some of the off-site improvement requests and things like that.
I just think of all the traffic coming onto Bixler's Ferry and to Main Street. It looks like they'd be choked out of like,
I've already asked that question, so
Yeah.
I was like, in terms of your traffic counts, total counts, your average daily trips, and what percentage of those would be using the Bixler's Ferry exit entrance, and which percentage would use the West Main exit
Yeah.
entrance? So they haven't gotten to that yet. I think they're kind of on hold until they get a feel for whether they do this before they pay the engineers to do
understood.
that work, and I totally get that.
I get that too, but wow.
Those things are expensive. Who knows what they paid to get that sheet made, so.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Okay, well, thank you. That's all I needed to know, and, I'll get the answer, John, and as soon as they give it to me, if they give it to me, I'll share it with you.
Okay, anything else to bring us up to date on?
Let's see, anything major going on? I mean, we've got the Halloween stuff going on. I think we sent you, some information about that. We have, what else do we have going on? Downtown. Development-wise, we are seeing some, wrapping up some certificate occupancies out on Fairview. We're seeing some others. We did some, new permits for Baycorn, which is the last group of homes out there right off of, Cato Road. Just trying to think of some of the other things. that-
Well, and business-wise, Marshall's is opening and
Marshall's is gonna be
Port-
opening.
Porch-
They're
Porch and Vine.
They're aimed at November 1. They filed for that license today. Fortune Vine has their ribbon cutting tomorrow, I think.
At 11.
11 o'clock.
Brooks attended that.
Brooks would attend that, and some of the police, and then some of the council. So it's a big day, you know, for that. I'd like to see these old buildings rehab.
Great.
Still have not gotten any, we're doing some paperwork back and forth on the 15 Campbell. Still have not gotten paperwork yet from DHCD yet, so I'm still kind of waiting on that to make sure that things are okay there. We are looking at the rear parking site plan and trying to work out an
And on Marshalls, didn't I see that they made a nice donation to Page One?
Yeah, I did see that.
$10,000.
Yeah, 10,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're getting that parking lot paved.
Yeah.
Somebody-
That's a great
Yeah, I
thing.
saw that. Yeah.
Use it.
Yeah,
They
maybe
could
they'll
use-
stop calling us, the one that's
Yeah.
paying the parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's not our parking lot.
Yeah.
We did get the millings out.
We get the call at the bank all
Fix
the
the
time.
potholes?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
No, what they doing, they patching those, and then they, I was talking to, what,
Got it.
Pettit, then they gonna do the whole thing, he said.
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
great.
Oh,
As long as you guys can take care of it, Tracy.
oh, that's great.
Isn't that your
That's
lot?
awesome.
No, it's not.
Great.
Trick or treat on Main Street,
Okay,
obviously.
can't
is
get there.
October 31st,
It's like a road to
right?
Baghdad.
And then, that's
Thanks.
our next event that's coming up, and,
When's Christmas dinner?
we're trying to work.
Yeah, when
on
is
some
Christmas
things.
dinner?
Christmas dinner is, I know, that's a
And
great
when's
question.
Christmas
I mean,
parade?
Yeah,
That's a great question.
What date's the
We do
parade?
have a reservation with Middleton, we were able to get it later in the month this year.
22nd?
And I think it's on a
24th.
Friday night.
Oh, Christmas.
No, it's not Christmas.
Oh, that's Thursday.
Are you guys doing anything for Thanksgiving for the, Thanksgiving Day thing that was talked about at Rotary?
Yeah, so I distributed that to the council, all of the department heads, we're gonna try and, see if we can push to get donations, whatever the employees wanna do, whether it's money or food. or-
Volunteer time?
Yeah, or volunteer time, one of the three, and just push it out there and let them see. I pushed it to the council and, they haven't quite made a decision yet on whether to adopt projects, you know, like volunteerism projects where we could give, employees a certain number of hours per year to do that. So they're mulling that over right now. So, we'll see. That might be the start of something really good, but I did provide all the information to all of our departments and asked them to share with their employees, and then we're gonna see if we can make a concerted push there.
I did think it was interesting reading the council minutes about what we sent to them and their comments on what was going on with our, either the Airbnb criteria and the other few things. I thought that they kind of split them too, so it was
We've had a couple of issues that have been, I would say rather divisive. That was probably one of the more divisive ones this year. Most of the issues, both your group and their group lands fairly close to each other, on most topics. But it's a different, like you said, it's a different, you guys have different drivers. You know, your drivers are looking at, the zoning ordinance of the town and how it impacts, future development. They look at it from, you know, financial criteria and political criteria and some of these other things. And so both of you have different drivers, but a lot of those drivers overlap. And so that's why I think you land
yeah.
close.
It's just interesting to see how it works.
Okay, I don't know that we have any other action items. Any other comments? Okay, we've already noted that our next meeting is on November the 12th. And besides some of the things we were just talking about, we'll look forward to the comprehensive plan. Anything else? Okay, very good. We've completed everything, so we will stand adjourned.